in just a moment. But something that can be a bit fuzzy for lots of us is how we got here in the first place. Jean began to talk about the demilitarized zone. But why do we talk about North and South Korea? Let's have a quick reminder.
It's been a good half in terms of that balance.
The surrender of Japan's Emperor Hirohito, marking the end of World War II. Japan had ruled over the entire Korean peninsula for 35 years until this moment. It was then decided that Korea would be temporarily...
Customers with their suppliers, with their own customers, with banks and regulators. Doesn't that expose you to competition on a lot more fronts?
Sure. I mean, I think, that we're not the only people who are trying to do that. But in the end, I think particularly for small, mid-sized businesses, what we're trying to do, as you say, is bring everyone together so that they can collaborate in a more digital way. And what that means is you need to be prepared to work with people who are not currently Sage customers, and also to some degree work with some of your competitors, because at the end of the day, you're trying to make the technology work for your customers. You're trying to make that network bigger, and that requires you to partner. You need to be a good partner in order to create the scale that's necessary for that to be effective. And also not just in the UK, but more globally. This is a network that we're expanding in all of the countries in which we operate. So it's all about delivering value to the customers.
And how much are you doing of that with your own software, and how much of it is via third-party software vendors?
Yeah, so it's both. I mean, at its core is our software. You're also seeing us doing acquisitions. So, we're also bringing in additional technology to integrate into our network. We're providing the application software, so the software that allows you to do things to drive efficiency within your own business. We obviously partner with others in terms of hosting that software, so we don't have, big data centers. We partner with big players like Microsoft and Amazon, etc., to host our software. But the application software at the core, that's Sage software, and we continue to add to that both organically and inorganically.
Now, obviously, we're in an inflationary environment right now. To what extent have you been able to help out your SME customers by holding prices?
Yeah, so we try and balance and be very thoughtful about prices. We do put our prices up, but we do it based on a fair value exchange. So we're trying to add more functionality and give more to our customers when we put prices up. And we're trying to balance also, 65% of our cost base is people. We look for our own productivity and our own efficiency, but we will, obviously need to also increase salaries of our own people. But what we don't do is we're not going to increase the profitability of Sage at the expense of our customers. So we're balancing our own sort of input costs and then trying to deliver more and more value to our customers so that we're doing our bit to, help them in the inflationary times. But what we're selling is productivity. So we're helping them to try and, perhaps, use productivity to be a slight counterforce to the inflationary forces.
Now, you've just had a brand refresh. You've launched a new logo. Investors often get jittery about those sort of things. Why have you done it?
Well, I think it's important to show that there's a difference. We're doing things differently in Sage. I think, perhaps in the past there's been, some observation that, Sage was late to the cloud. Sage was not really, up there with the best players in terms of cloud technology. Well, we are, and what we're doing is signifying a change also in terms of how we serve our customers. This combination of driving digitization, but with a human touch. So, we're very proud of our customer service as well as the digital tools that we offer. And, we're not saying that we're going to, need to spend, many more millions of dollars on our brand, because it's an integral part of our digital strategy. So, it will be absorbed within our normal marketing expenditure, and as you've seen in the results that we've just delivered, the margin is now starting to come back. We are scaling both our revenue and our earnings, and the refreshed brand is just an integral part of that.
All right, is the new logo up on the Sage Centre in Gateshead yet?
Well, we haven't. We've committed to the investment in that area of Gateshead. As you know, we're going to have a new big entertainment and business complex called the Sage, and Sage Gateshead will be part of that complex.
Good stuff. All right, Steve. Always good to see you. Thanks very much for spending the time today.
Thanks very much.
Now, you might recall that 2 weeks ago on this programme, we spoke with Sir Dave Lewis, the former Tesco chief executive, about his latest venture, X-Links, which aims to import solar and wind power from Morocco via the world's longest subsea interconnectors. Well, events at the business are clearly moving fast. It's just unveiled a financial and strategic partnership with the energy supplier Octopus Energy. Well, joining me now is Greg Jackson. He's chief executive of Octopus Energy. Greg, you in a position to sort of tell me how much money may have changed hands here?
Not at the moment, but I mean, the total project's going to be a value of around £16 billion. It's a huge investment, but that's because it will deliver, enough electricity to power, 7 million heat pumps all year round.
But the point of this is that it isn't just a financial arrangement. This goes a lot deeper.
That's right. I think one of the interesting things as we move towards a renewable world is a lot of people worry about what we're going to do when the wind's not blowing and the sun's not shining here in the UK. And as well as having big group level batteries, projects like this that enable us to tap into renewables, which have got a different generation pattern. In this case, 20 hours a day, reliably, 365 days a year, complement the homegrown renewables that we're already building at scale. And that's how we can actually move to a renewable system that's more reliable than we've got today because of this diversity, but also, it's going to be cheaper. This electricity is going to be about the same price as we're getting for UK offshore wind and cheaper than fossil fuel electricity was even before the crisis.
Does the fact that you're partnering with X-Links preclude other household energy suppliers from getting involved further down the line if they want to?
No, it doesn't. I think what we want to be able to do is work with X-Links to make the most of the electricity they're generating at the times they're generating it. I think where Octopus is a bit special is, for years now, we've been building this technology that lets us use renewable electricity at the times it's abundant. For example, if people got an electric car, it'll automatically charge at times when there's a lot of renewables on the grid and prices are cheapest. Now, that technology will work very, very well with X-Links, where, we're going to be getting this electricity when it's sunny and windy in Morocco, maybe with a bit of battery storage to shift the time even further. So Octopus should be better placed to make the most of it. But, other companies are going to be able to bid in to buy this electricity too.
Now, Greg, there's a lot of talk in the air about windfall taxes for big oil and gas producers right now. Even Centrica, one of your competitors, has been identified as a potential target earlier this week. Well, what are your thoughts on all of that?
Well, I think what's driving that is the cost of living crisis, where costs across the board are going up, but energy bills have been hugely impacted by the global gas crisis exacerbated by the war in Ukraine. And we need help for households. The price rises we've already seen in energy have been brutal. And we want to work with government and across other sectors to plan for how we can help people through the coming winter. Now, that help is obviously going to have to be paid for. And I think, there's a debate in society about where that money comes from. For our point of view, I think you've got to separate the decisions about how you raise money from the decisions about how you spend it. And, that means when you look at the windfall tax, it should be measured in its own merits as a, part of the Chancellor's tools to increase public finances. And he's going to look at whether that's right or not. So I think from our perspective, we're far more focused on what we need to do to help customers. And it's the government's job to work out, kind of what is the best way of paying for that.
Right, that's a very diplomatic answer, Greg, but I can't work out from that whether you think it's a good or a bad idea.
Look, we're not well placed to make taxation decisions. What we are well placed to is to help the government understand the extent of the crisis for consumers. We speak to 20 or 30,000 people a day, and our team are on the front line for understanding just how difficult things are for many households, many households now, and they're set to carry on getting difficult unless we can find some help.
All right, Greg, got to leave it there. Good to see you again. Thanks very much indeed for joining me today.
Thank you, Ian.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. We'll have a look at how global markets are doing going into the weekend. Stay tuned.
We're very, very pleased to be invited to, for a little amount to be invited to come to Poland, to Eastern Poland, to some of the cities where tens of thousands of people from Lithuania, especially children and their mothers and their parents, have been given shelter from the terrible events going on in their own country. Yesterday we were in Lviv in Ukraine, invited by the mayor of the city, who feels that when people are able to come to the city, they draw attention to what's happening in his country, and in his words, create a further possibility of peace. A mall is a 12.5 foot high representation of a 10-year-old girl. She comes from Aleppo. Her story is that she was living in Aleppo when the war came down. But we know that the war in Syria continues. The bombing is taking place, at least in part by the Russians, the same people who are attacking Lithuania. She traveled from Aleppo. She's operated by 3 puppeteers, one inside her and one on each of her hands. And we covered about 5,000 miles going through 8 countries, welcomed by artists, by civil society leaders, by faith leaders, by mayors of major cities over about 4 months last year. And our home is now in Manchester. We're invited to bring her literally all over the world. We get invitations from all over the world, but especially when the idea came to enable her to be with children who've suffered appallingly. We were very happy to be able to bring her.
Well, despite further falls on Wall Street yesterday that pushed the S&P 500 index closer to bear market territory, stocks in the Asia-Pacific region made a positive finish to the week. The Nikkei 225 in Tokyo and the Hang Seng in Hong Kong both finished ahead by more than 2%, while there were also gains in Shanghai, Mumbai and in Sydney. Well, stocks in Europe are also going into the weekend on a positive note. Here's the current picture. All of the main indices around 1.25 percentage points to the good. Their talking points include Deutsche Telekom, whose shares are up 0.5% in Frankfurt this morning on solid quarterly results. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory right now, up 1.5% in a broad-based rally. Among the leading gainers in percentage terms is Sage. We've just heard from them, of course. The shares currently, well, they were up by nearly 4% at one point. They're only up 2/3 of 1% now. Still pretty positive. Outside the FTSE, the biomass and coal-fired power station operator Drax, the shares off by 5% there on broker comment, while the wholesale power firm Contour Global is up by 0.75%. On a trading update, there aren't that many corporate stories for investors to get their teeth into today, to be perfectly honest. On the foreign exchange markets, well, it looked earlier on as though the pound had found a floor against the US dollar after several days of falls, but as you can see, it's at it again. Sterling currently down by just over 0.1% against the greenback and down by nearly 0.25% against the euro. As for the oil price, well, that is higher this morning as attention has again focused on a potential European ban on Russian crude. A barrel of Brent crude will currently set you back $108.60 a barrel. That is up by just over 1%. Well, joining me today is Victoria Scholar. She's head of investment at Interactive Investor. Victoria, welcome to you. I mean, nice rebound for the FTSE this morning. I mean, it's been a pretty hairy few days, to be frank.
It has. It was a mixed session in the United States, but Asia markets came roaring back overnight. We had that positive momentum carry forward into the European session. We saw that heavy sell-off yesterday, particularly for the FTSE 100, down by more than 1.5%. But now it's managing to break back above that key resistance level at 7,300. Essentially, this volatility this week has been driven by Wednesday's US inflation figures, which were a bit of a mixed bag. It came down month on month, but still topped expectations expectations. And then we had those UK GDP figures, which saw a contraction in March. So all of this raising concerns about the prospect of a recession or at least an economic slowdown. So it looks as though there is a bit of let up for markets for now, but heading into next week, we should be bracing potentially for more volatility.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an absolute rout in particular for some of the big US tech stocks, but also for cryptocurrencies. For the uninitiated, why do they trade so similarly to tech stocks?
Well, it's interesting because, the crypto bulls often argued that this was meant to be an inflation hedge, but unfortunately, it hasn't proven itself to be the case. This is clearly very much a risk-on asset. So, we've seen losses in the equity markets, particularly for the tech-heavy NASDAQ, like you say, concerns about inflation, and then this instability in the stable coin market. So that's been sending.
SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
The coolest way to start your weekend. The best radio show.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you're listening to Starr Radio.
You're still the same. Yes, yesterday, today, and ever. You're not a man that you should lie before. Yes, you're an amen forever. Would seem harder on such radar. Yes, would seem harder. Oh my, would seem harder on such radar. change. Yes, Lord. You're still the same. Yes, yesterday, today, and forever. Yesterday, today, and ever. You're not a man. You're not a man that you shall lie. That you shall lie. You're surely an amen. You're surely an amen. Forever and ever. One more time. You never change. You never change. You're still the same. You're still the same. Yes, yesterday, today, and forever. Yes, yesterday, today, and ever. You're not a man. You're not a man that you should lie. That you should lie. Surely an amen. That's your word, God. Surely an amen. Forever and ever. Come on, what's in order? Oh, such a rider. Sing yes to Cristo. All his name, yes. Come on. What's in order? Oh, such a rider. Never changing God you are. What's in order? Everybody.
And that is how I say a massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. He changeth not, he changeth not. Whatever he said about you, surely, surely it will come to pass. That is from Cici Baidu saying Otim Hoda. He's a God who never changes, and whatever he said, as I said, in him is the yea and amen. So no matter what life throws at you, be rest assured, some way, somehow, there's someone who has your back. He has your back. And that is God Almighty. Alright then. Today's Friday, the 13th day of May, the year 2022. The time now 10:40 from the hearts of London, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Of course, the Friday edition of the morning show. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
The morning show with Archie.
So from now till 1 o'clock, I'm going to be your captain, seeing you through the journey of knowing what is happening across the globe from home here. So wherever you are, do me a massive favor, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. But I'm saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good on to you. A special good morning to my team. Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olayomi Koiki Kojodi, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and our money man, and my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. I salute you all the way in Aberdeen, my brother, my big bro himself, Felix. Massive good morning to you. I hope you are doing very, very well. And I'm saying good morning also to that you shall lie. You're surely an amen. Surely an amen. Forever and ever. One more time. You never change. Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, the Makivas in the US. All the Hammonds across the globe. To our lovely listeners in America, and those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, those of you on the African continent. Anthony Adedeji, Amaya Granny, I say good morning to you all. Casino all the way in Moscow. Casino, long time no here. I hope you are doing very, very well. The studies is going well as well. Okay. What about my listeners here in the UK? And all the presenters of Starr Radio UK, I salute each and every one of you. I say thank you once again for sharing and being with us. So good morning to Reverend Michael Esiama and Minister Emmanuel Agbleke for bringing that wonderful program this morning. That is the Power Hour. It comes your way from Wednesdays to Saturdays, exactly at 5:30 a.m. You want to join in for free. It's a prayer time that we want to encourage everybody to go on or join in. Well, interestingly, today they had a promo going on, and it was that if you happen to, you are the first 10 callers or listeners who will send that is some WhatsApp message to them to the Power Word International, saying what you've learned or what you've heard about the message that was preached. You get a free data. I'll give you money to get yourself a data. So that's a good promo, isn't it? All right, because I know that it costs you an arm and a leg in that part of the world to listen to us. So thank you very much, Mr. Reverend Michael Esiama and the Power Hour and the Power Word International Ministry.
You're still the same.
Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Okay, let me crack on. If it's the first time of tuning in today, this is what is going to happen. I'm going to bring you the quote of the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then after that, exactly at 11 o'clock, we'll join Mr. Olayomi to bring you updates from Nigeria. We'll continue from there, looking at other stories making the rounds across the globe. At 12 o'clock exactly, the lines will be opened for you to add your voice to the discussions. But before then, if you want to share your take with us, feel free, post it on our Facebook page, and I promise you, I'm going to read it and acknowledge you as well. Then after that, at 12:30 exactly, we'll take you all the way to Kent, where our money man is all geared up, ready to fire on all cylinders. So make sure you make a date with him. Then at 1 o'clock exactly, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that's what's going to be happening today. Once again, welcome to the program. I remain yours sincerely, but share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages, as I've said earlier on. Now let's move on straight to what is happening. Yeah, the quote for the day says what the quote for the day says. Now, opportunities have a way of locating people who are prepared for them. Opportunities have a way of locating people who are prepared for them. Would you say that you are prepared for the opportunity that you're looking up to? Or you are just looking up to it and no preparation? Well, when they put a lump of or a bowl of gold in your hands and you don't know what to use it for, you've not prepared for it, you waste it. You throw it to the pigs. What about that? Okay, let's move on straight to the weather front. Let me tell you what is happening on the weather front. Yes, for London and the southeast of England, this afternoon will continue to dry and fine with plenty of sunshine, remaining breezy, however, with a moderate to fresh southwesterly wind. Now tonight we'll see dry conditions and clear skies for much of the night. A few patches of cloud will drift in from the southwest towards dawn, and one of the or two patches of mist may form later on. Winds will be easing. And when it comes to the temperature is going to be 23 degrees, or lower it's going to be 9 degrees. Pollen level is going to be high, UV level is going to be moderate, and pollution is going to be low. Sunset is going to be at 20:42, and time right for tomorrow morning 05:12 hours. Now let me tell you what is happening tomorrow for those of you who have events. Tomorrow we'll see dry conditions through the daytime with plenty of sunshine, cloud building from the south towards the evening with spells of heavy rain arriving later with a chance of thunder. Come Sunday as well. Sunday will have a mix of sunny spells and showers, now which will be heavy with a chance of thunder in places. So in a gist, that is how the weather is going to be for you today and over the weekend. Once again, welcome to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a quick break and I'll bring you the travel updates. Playing in the background once again, CC Bedu, the Promise Otim Hoda.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio Good Travel Update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:48. Well. If you are traveling on the underground this morning in London, where the Northern Line, as we know, till mid-May, there's part closures for engineering work that is taking place. But when it comes to the Piccadilly line, there are minor delays between Acton Town, Heathrow, due to an earlier emergency engineering work at Holborn. Good service on the rest of the line. That aside, all the others have got good service. At TFN Rail DLR, London Tramlink and London Overground has also got good service there. Now let's move on straight to the major roads in London. A316, A4 and Central London Red routes have all got closures. However, A12 and A41 has got serious delays. If you can avoid them, do your best to avoid them. That aside, all the others have got no exceptional delays. Now let's move on to my favorite means of transport, that is river bus. Now on the river bus, as you know, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that has got special service, all the others have got good service. But keep your eyes on the roads, I will keep you navigated, I promise, our bond. Now moving on to the final segment of the travel update, that's the National Rail. On the National Rail this morning, Avanti West Coast, Cross Country, Southwestern Railway, Transport for Wales have all got minor delays. That aside, all the others, good service. So on that note, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 10:52, and that means that it is time for Global Trotting. So let's move on straight to what is happening when it comes to the stories that is making the rounds across the globe. Okay, so first and foremost, from Nigeria, some of the stories that we'll be talking about. Catholic communicators condemn killing of Sokoto student. The story says that, Catholic communicators in Nigeria under the auspices of Signates have described as barbaric and satanic the alleged stoning to death and setting ablaze of a female student, Deborah Yakubu, in Sokoto State by a mob. The group, while condemning in strong terms the lynching of a 200-level female Christian student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto said the incident once more underscored the need for those in position of authority and religious leaders in the country to continue to educate their followers on the sanctity of human life and religious tolerance. Well, I will bring you more on that front, but it is one thing. So that's why people will say that, well, we all live in one country, or we are said to belong to one country. Now, how come that people emit such evil on one group of people because of their faith? You don't believe in what I believe in? Fine. Peaceful coexistence is the way forward. Don't bring whatever you believe down my doorsteps. I'm going to bring mine to yours. But if we say we are all living in one state or one country, why do you? Why is it that when I go live in another place, I'm going on with my life, I've not thrown it or flaunted it in your face? Why should I be stoned? But we'll bring you more on that front in a moment, with all the insecurity and such religious intolerance that goes on in that part of the country. Now, pensioners from Muyibo seals agreement and also turns down appeal to suspend strike. Well, if you say they should suspend the strike, I mean, what are you giving them in return? Now, leaders who can't publicly condemn Deborah's killing are cowards, Fanny Kayode is saying. And then Onyema receives the National Productivity Order of Merit Award, and Solomon Dalong joins race for House of Reps to obtain SDP. This and a lot more going to be coming your way. One other one, Nigerian Central Bank Governor obtains secret court order from Delta State High Court. We'll be bringing you more on that front as well, and a few that Mr. Olayomi will be bringing up or in addition to that as well. I'm moving on straight to some other story. Bishop Bosom Chiayensu, mental illness denied him chaplain general position. That's what they say. Dunketia is saying. How or what does that actually mean for the state of Ghana as well? Now, 4 men of God who have been attacked by NDC. That's some of the stories that have been captured there. My children are not into politics, but I think my granddaughter will be. Who is saying this? I'll be telling you more about that. And snake enters Wosu Training College dormitory, bites the balls of a young man. Ow! That snake is a very, very serious snake, you know. A serious snake that went in, knows their business, went to do that business. My goodness. I am the best person for MPP General Secretary position. John Buedu says, nobody is safe if NDC comes back to power. Kwamena Duncan is saying, really? Well, he can be saying that, of course, if you know that you perpetrated some evil deeds, then when you know that the opposition is going to be coming to power, you shake or you quiver in your boots. So that might be what is going on. NDC will repeal e-levy within 100 days if we win 2024 polls, Haruna Idrisu is also saying. Now, moving on straight to other parts of the world, Mali's army chief in Rwanda to strengthen defense cooperation. Now, why didn't they link or rely on the ECOWAS? Well, somebody said that they've been suspended from there, so now they are going all the way to Rwanda. I mean, are we not overstretching the forces in Rwanda? Or, I mean, yeah. Because we know that Rwanda is one of the best African countries. I mean, you look at their cities, how the whole place is like. And somebody will say the kind of democracy that they practice. But if you have a strong hand and you can actually whip people in line to get things done, and you can sit back and people can from outside say that, whoa, what is going on is good. Why not? Ghana determined to solve debt crisis without IMF help. Really? By forcing people or the poor to cough up what they don't even have? Well, we'll be looking into all those stories as the day unfolds. And Sudanese protesters, Sudanese protests against military rule persist. They've not stopped it. They continue. And then call for justice on 8th anniversary of French journalist murder. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there on the African continent. Now in the UK, Prime Minister wants to cut up to 91,000 civil services jobs. Now Boris Johnson plans to save money, aims to see staffing to return to 2016 levels within 3 years. So how is he going to do that? We'll bring you more on that. It's quite a worrying time. DUP to block Stormont Speaker over Northern Ireland Protocol. Now, DUP leader said Jeffrey Donaldson says the Northern Ireland Protocol has eroded the foundation of devolution. Well, this more we will be looking at. The Big C podcaster Deborah James. Deborah James gets a Dame Hood. The podcast host who is receiving end-of-life care for cancer said she was blown away by the Anna. Well, those are some of the stories making the rounds. And North Korea announces first death from COVID-19. A day after confirming its first case, state media reports thousands are suffering fever symptoms. So, is it now that COVID has hit North Korea? Well, and what preparation have they, and what medicines have they to actually, to combat this COVID in their part of the world? Well, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. CCTV shows Russian soldier killing Ukrainian civilians. The incident captured on video has been yesterday. I watched it and it was quite worrying when you shoot people at the back when they had offered you or given you a cigarette for you to smoke, and the person is walking away to the office, and then you take your gun and shoot at them. That is quite inhumane, right? Okay, now first picture of monster black hole in our galaxy. Astronomers revealed the first ever image of the black hole at the core of our galaxy. I was listening to that and somebody was asking me the question, if there's a black hole or not. What is that? They said 4 million years away. And I'm like, so what do we care? Well, people, once you have got everything that you need and you are living life the way that you want, you think about things outside. But well, now I think it's survival instinct. Now you need to make sure that you are surviving. But this is a lot more going to be looking at. Unfortunately, Mr. Olayomi will not be able to join us live because he is saying to some stories that are developing from Nigeria and trying to get all the details. But during the course of the program, once he has got all the details, he'll be joining us. If not, the Monday, God willing, he'll be coming your way to bring you another edition of updates from Nigeria. But now, enjoy this song from Papa Yankson, Say Jimmy, and I'll be coming back to you with the updates from Nigeria. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
worldwide online 24/7.
You are listening to Starr Radio Morning. Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
Well, something from the late Papa Yankson there. Jimmy, save me, oh God. And I think if there's time in this world where we need the salvation of God, I think it's this time, where everything seems to be going pear-shaped. But hey, be rest assured, somewhere, somehow, you wake up, maybe you're going to bed and you think, what is going to happen in the morning? And you wake up and then everything keeps on ticking along. What? Well, if your time comes that you have to go, you will go. But if your time has not come and you are living on the earth, live life to the fullest. And that's what I would say on that note. So, once again, welcome to the program, Starr Radio UK. 7 minutes by the top of the hour, the morning show. It's now time for updates from Nigeria. As I said earlier on, though we will not be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki due to some information that we are trying to get from Nigeria, and he's working on it. Seriously, we will continue to bring you some of the stories that he's posted for us to have a look at, or he sent to me or forwarded to me so that we can have a look at. So stay tuned. There are a few of them that I'm putting across Starr Radio UK. Now, topmost of the story is the killing of a female student in Sokoto. Now, the story says that the Catholic communicators in Nigeria under the auspices of Cygnus have described as barbaric and satanic the alleged stoning to death and setting ablaze of a female student, Deborah Yakubu, in Sokoto State by a mob. The group, while condemning in strong terms the lynching of the 200-level female Christian student of Shehu Shagari College of Education in Sokoto, said the incident once more underscored the need for those in position of authority and religious leaders in the country to continue to educate their followers on the sanctity of human life and religious tolerance. They said such incidents were also a pointer to the fact that many of our young people have now turned themselves into solicitors and juries, dispensing capital punishment on mere civil matters as they will and against whoever they wish without any resort to the laws of the land. But my question once again is, do you blame those who behave that way? Because if our judiciary would sit and then they will not see to deliver justice as supposed to be, but will be conniving and condoning and coming out with some rulings, then people will take the laws into their own hands. But not in this case where you are taking people's life. That is not on. In a release signed by the President, Cygnus Nigeria, Reverend Father Patrick Alumoko, and the Secretary General, Mr. Tony Agbugba, the group, which comprises Catholic media practitioners, public relations experts, communications lecturers, and online editors, said it was very sad and unimaginable that such barbaric practice of stoning humans to death for flimsy excuses of blasphemy still exists in some parts of the country in the 21st century, saying such outdated practice should never again be allowed to fester in any part of Nigeria. Let me say good morning to Mr. L. Upon, who is in the building as well. Now, while consoling the families of the deceased over the gruesome murder of the student, the group called on the law enforcement agencies to do everything possible to bring the culprits to book in the shortest possible time. The statement added, on behalf of the Catholic communicators in Nigeria, we wish to express our utter dismay at the gory manner Deborah Yakubu was killed for no justifiable reason. God in heaven, they said, abhors such inhumane acts, and we believe no religion on earth supports the arbitrary killings of another. Our constitution also forbids it. We are therefore pained that such barbaric and satanic acts acts still happens in our clime. We condemn it in totality, and we wish to call for an end to such evil practices. Now, they urge the Inspector General of Police to personally look into this matter and ensure that all those found culpable in this act are made to face the full weight of the law. But my question is, what did this lady do? I will try to get the information. It says a female student of the Shehu Shagari College of Sokoto was on Thursday burnt alive over alleged comments against Prophet Muhammad. Now, some news portals gathered that the incident, which triggered tension in the school environment, occurred on Thursday morning. The student, identified simply as Deborah, was, according to reports, beaten to a pulp before she was set ablaze. In a video trending on social media, some young men were seen hurling stones at the victim. Now, when the victim fell to the ground unconsciously, the attackers gathered ties around her before she was set ablaze. Efforts to reach the Sokoto State Police Command were unsuccessful, as at the time we were coming on air. However, the Command Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Sanusi Abubakar, did not take his calls nor responded to text messages forwarded to him. Now, if this is a country where everybody has a right to live wherever, and we are living in it's not an Islamic state, is it? So everybody has the right to, practice whatever practice or say whatever they want to say. But, it depends on even where. But if you think that somebody has said something that maligns or defames or whatever you want to term it, then why don't you take the person to the courts for the courts to render justice? Why do we go on capital, or even not capital punishment, but instant justice or street justice? Why do we practice those things? That shows how barbaric or how backward some of us or some people in that part of the world or on the African continent are. Or there are other parts of the world where people practice that. You talk about Afghanistan, where people, the way people are being, treated and stuff like that. But when I see stories like this, and I ask myself, and he said there's a peaceful coexistence, and he said that we live in one area where I cannot say, I'm being shushed, and others are being allowed to do whatever they want to do. My goodness. Let me hear what you think about it. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in relation to that, Buhari Atiku, leaders who can't publicly condemn Deborah's killing are cowards. That's what Fani Kayode is saying. Now, former Aviation Minister Femi Fani Kayode has expressed anger over the decision by some prominent leaders in Nigeria to keep mum on the killing of Deborah Samuel, a student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto. Now, reports that while the matter of the 200-level students who was burnt alive for allegedly insulting Prophet Muhammad trends online, some Nigerian leaders are yet to speak up. As of the time of filing the report, President Muhammad Buhari is yet to react to the unfortunate incident which occurred on Thursday. Similarly, a presidential aspirant under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, who earlier condemned the incident in a post on his Twitter and Facebook handles, has pulled down the content. Why? Is it because he's looking at the backlash of Islamic faith believers who say that because you are condemning that act, that means that you're standing for people to malign or disregard the Muhammad or whatever that is going on? Now, reacting, Fani Kayode said leaders, no matter their positions, who are yet to publicly condemn the murder are nothing but cowards. Now, on his verified Twitter handle, FFK wrote, any so-called leader that remains silent and refuses to publicly condemn the murder of Deborah is a coward. I don't care who or what you are. If you cannot bring yourself to condemn this cold-blooded, horrific murder, then you are nothing but a coward and have contempt for you. Well, that is what it said. But it's a very, very sad day, once again, on the African continent. And I say to the family, our condolences, and may her soul rest in perfect peace. I'm not saying that go insulting people. I mean, no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is that if you think somebody's wronged you, take the person to the courts. Let the courts deal with it. But when people, again, lose the trust of the courts, saying that, well, when we take the person to court, nothing will happen there, then we have a problem. And again, I think we have to learn how to use wisdom. You know, we need that in our lives. You need to know when to speak. You need to know when to shush. Though you might have a strong take on an issue, but if you don't know when to speak or where, I mean, depending on where you are. But well, I don't know what the Southerners are going to think about all this. Because, I mean, when we talk about the Southerners, we have a mixture of, faith there as well. But how would they take it? Would it have happened that same way if it was in the South? Well, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in relation to students as well, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and other industry-based unions have turned down the appeal by the federal government to resume duties while negotiations are ongoing to meet up with their demands. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari had on Thursday pleaded with the unions to go back to work when he spoke at the National Productivity Day celebration held at the presidential villa. However, the president's chief of staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, led meeting between the federal government team, ASU, and other registered trade unions in Nigeria universities, as well as identified interest groups and civil societies, met on Thursday in Abuja. ASU had insisted it would not budge until its demands were met. Now, ASU President Professor Emmanuel Osodeke said that there was nothing on the ground from the government side to warrant that. There is nothing on the ground for us to consider. We are not stopping the strike until something concrete is done, he said. Now, insisting that before the current strike, the union had given enough period of grace to enable the government and its agencies to meet with them and to address their demands, but to no avail. Now, when will all this end? Somebody will ask the question, but well, we hope to see. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Updates from Nigeria, 80 minutes past 11 the time. Now, the Nigerian Central Bank governor obtained secret court order from Delta State High Court to enable him stay put in office while contesting for president. Now, Justice D.C. Meadow of the Delta State High Court, Kwale Division, has granted an order restraining the board of Central Bank of Nigeria and Independent National Electoral Commission from stopping the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele from seeking an elective post. Now, the application was filed on May the 5th, 2022, and the judgment was granted on Thursday, May the 12th. That's reports coming in, says, armed with the court papers, Emefiele gratefully took them to President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday, after which he stated that Nigeria will die of a heart attack, or Nigerians will die of a heart attack. Reacting to his controversial presidential ambition, which has seen many groups and notable Nigerians call for his resignation to preserve the sanctity of Treasury and national economy on Thursday, Emefiele boasted that he was having fun and cared less about what people had to say. Now, if you're saying that, now when it comes to the polling, it's not like because even if you win the bid for a party or whoever you are standing for, independent or for a party, whatever it takes, it's people who have to vote for you. So if you say you don't care what people are saying, then what? Now, he went on further to say, reacting to the controversial presidential ambition, which has seen many groups and notable Nigerians call for his resignation. My apologies. Let me hop on. He met with State House correspondent after a closed-door meeting with President Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja, reacting to reports that the president had asked him to resign after the purchase of the presidential nomination and expression of interest forms of the ruling All Progressive Congress. Emefiele said, there is no news now, but there will be news. You heard me. I said there is no news, but there will be news. So what news is he talking about? But when told that Nigerians were anxious about this position, he said, let them have a heart attack. It is good to have a heart attack. I'm having a lot of fun. Now, somebody who wants to represent the country or lead the country, if you make that statement whilst you are trying to contest or trying to get your foot into the door, and then people are going to tell you that, well, when you become a president, then you wouldn't give a monkeys about how people are feeling. Now, what about that? Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. 11:21 the time, the morning show. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Updates from Nigeria. Well, when it comes to ceding the presidency to the south and especially to the southeast, well, the northern group have given reasons why the Igbos cannot be trusted with power. Why? If the northerners can be trusted with power, if the southwest can be trusted with power, why shouldn't the southeast be trusted with power? After all, the south have always also been trusted with power before. Well, they're saying that ahead of the 2023 presidential election, the coalition of northern groups, the CNG, has said the Igbos cannot be trusted with power. The CNG spokesperson Abdul Aziz Suleiman said Igbos could not be trusted with power because their elders pose national threat following their recent warnings of disrupting Nigeria if they can't produce the country's next president. Addressing journalists in Abuja yesterday, Suleiman said the same Igbo elders calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, were the ones still agitating for presidency in 2023. Now, Suleiman said similar groups of Igbo leaders and elders have engaged in desperate covert and overt efforts to secure the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the IPOB terror group, standing trial for crimes against the state. As if this were not enough, the same group of Igbo elders again recklessly issued a national security threat on May the 4th, 2022, that any attempt to elude the zone of presidency in 2023 may rupture the existence of Nigeria as a corporate entity, as well as aggravate crisis, conflicts, separatist demands, and others. Now, this, he continued to say, has deepened the fears that the Igbos cannot and should never be trusted with presidential power. The Southeast has been agitating for the presidency in 2023. Stakeholders from the Southeast and other parts of the country insisted that 2023 is the region's turn to produce the country's president. Now, they went on further to say, a few days ago, Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State had warned that the Southeast region might start boycotting voting for people shortchanging it from clinching the position of president of Nigeria. Well, so that is what has happened there. But if it happens that you say you cannot trust them because they seem to be saying on one hand we want we want to be okay, they've not, have they said they want to break away? Okay, some group want to break away, others want to remain there, and they said that, look, give us a position or cede the presidency to us, and once we do that, we'll be able to sort of maybe bring the country together. But after all, they are the ones who are suffering whatever pain or whatever they might call it. But we don't seem to be saying anything of the sort. But what do you think? Do you think that the northern leaders are right? That if these people are calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, who is the leader of the IPOB, and are saying, now sit us or give us the chance to become the next president of the land, do you think that there is anything wrong with that? I would love to know what you think. You can post your comments on our Facebook page. It is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, 11:25, let me bring you one other story that is making the rounds as well. Okay, my apologies there. Okay. Now, pertaining to the 2023 elections, the DSS has issued stern warning to politicians. The Department of State Services has warned politicians and highly placed personalities against unguided statements that could derail efforts to deepen Nigeria's democracy. See who is speaking. Now, Dr. Peter Afunanya, the public relations officer of DSS, gave the warning in a statement in Abuja. He said the warning followed a misleading and mischievous publication in some sections titled "Nigeria Secret Please Test the Water on Tenure Elongation for Buhari," tells journalists CSOs 2023 elections may not hold. I remember yesterday we were talking about that. Once I have Mr. Olayomi with that. Afunanya explained that in a said report that the service was accused of informing participants at its April 6th brainstorming session with CSOs through NGOs that the 2023 general election might not hold due to insecurity. He said the report further stated that the reason or the session, my apologies, was a ruse to sell tenure elongation to the public. Now the DSS disassociates itself from the publication and categorically states that the information is false and obviously fabricated to malign it and mislead the populace. It is curious that the session, which was lauded and described as innovative by the participants, including credible civil society groups, will be misrepresented. He said, Afunanya said the statement by the presidency reiterating its stance to hand over power to a new president on May 29, 2023 had vindicated the service. He added that the statement had countered the deliberate efforts by the report to create confusion. While the service in the circumstance aligns with the presidency, it urges the public to disregard the report, he added. Well, it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The final story from Nigeria. Let me see if there's been any. Okay, I think I've got a couple of other stories that have just come in, and let me see about. Okay, a couple of stories have come in. Let me see them and then let's move on. Now, Fulani Cabal managing federal government can't bully me, Akintoye is saying. Now, Professor Banji Akintoye, leader of the Ilana Omo Odua worldwide, has vowed to continue with the agitation for Yoruba nation. Now, in a statement on Friday, the elder statesman said the suggestion that he is naive enough to yield to money or give up is both an insult and gross fabrication. Akintoye declared that he has no reason to consider abandoning the organization he founded towards achieving Yoruba self-determination. The historian insists the struggle to liberate the Yoruba nation from poor governance, awful insecurity, disastrously mismanaged economy of Nigeria will continue. The Fulani Cabal managing the federal government now know me very well and know that I absolutely cannot be bought or bullied by them. They know that in my much younger years as a prominent young youth in politics, the political family of our father, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, they could not buy or bully me, he said. Now, Akintoye, who fought for the release of Sunday Adeyemo, aka Igboho, said he is still the brave and uncompromising fighter for truth and integrity that my God made me to be. The octogenarian believes that the Southwest will soon free ourselves from the death and decay that Nigeria has become. The statement told the public to note that self-determination organizations have been operating with peaceful Nigerian. Okay. Now, the statement told the public to know that the self-determination organization have been operating with peaceful and law-abiding means. For us of Ilana and other true Yoruba patriots, there is no going back in this struggle. Our enemies of all kinds are already smelling defeat, he said. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. What a strong statement there. One other story. Now, bandits gunned down prominent PDP member. That's a story that's making the round. Now, gunmen locally referred to as bandits on Thursday night attacked commuters along the Kankara-Danmuza highway in Katsina State. Now, during the attack, the terrorists killed Alhaji Jamilu Jada, a prominent member of the People's Democratic Party in the state. Katsina is the home state of the President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, comprehensive details of the incident are still sketchy, but local sources said that the bandits stormed the expressway around 10 p.m. and unleashed mayhem on travelers. Now, efforts to get comment from the police command spokesman or spokesperson in Katsina State, Gambo Iza, was unsuccessful. Bandit attacks have now become routine in the northwest, in Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, Kaduna, and Kebbi, as well as in Niger State in the north central. Attacks on rural communities, travelers and farmers occur almost daily. Sad one there. Insecurity. But it's Starr Radio UK. Before we run up, an aircraft belonging to Keverton Aviation Cameroon, subsidiary of Keverton Offshore Support Group, based in Lagos, Nigeria, crashed in Yaoundé, Cameroon on Thursday, killing the 11 people on board. The infant plane, which was piloted by the daughter of a former Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory, Senator Solomon Ewugu Azuayi Ewuga, was said to have crashed due to bad weather. The aircraft was flying from Yaoundé in Simalen Airport to Belabo in the east of the country when air traffic services lost radio contacts with it. The majority of the victims were said to be Nigerians. This is just a Nigerian accident investigation Bureau said. Investigation in the accident was the responsibility of Cameroonian aviation authorities. Speaking with the Nigerian Tribune, spokesperson for the AIB, Mr. Tonji Akuntobi, said the victims were mainly Nigerians since the crash happened in Cameroon, coupled with the fact that the ill-fated plane was not registered in Nigeria. The AIB could not double in it. Well, so that brings us to the end of the updates from Nigeria. It's now gone 11:33. We take a musical and some commercial break, and then we come back and I take you to where all the other stories are making the round. But this one is from Raskimono. He says Nigeria, Africa, and the whole world is under pressure. How true is that? Continue to stay tuned.
To this reading, after seeing all what's going in Africa.
On your smartphone, broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
we pocket, no bed, till we hate. The people, they must suffer. In a ghetto, in a city, everywhere that me go, me see them. Some are cry, some are die, some are weeping, some are wailing. Everywhere that me go, under pressure we wail, under pressure, everybody under pressure, black and white, under pressure, Europeans under pressure. Can't get no food if you go feel we belly. Philippine you too, no have no mother. Philippine you too, no have no father. Philippine you too, no have no brother. Philippine you too, no have no sister. I'm a kimono, me just chat it to you. Chat this I want me, not go chat it all day. Hey, under pressure we wail, under pressure, Europeans under pressure, Africans under pressure, Nigerians under pressure.
Here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and Inter, you are not sure? Well, Lamb shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination Inter. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzette. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I hope that you enjoyed that tune that came your way. Under pressure. Who is under pressure? The whole world under pressure. But as he has said, as he sang it, yes, Raskimono sums it up nicely. And I hope that you are enjoying the program wherever you are. Once again, let me say thank you very much to Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who sent in all that information that I had to bring your way. So don't touch the dial. Don't touch the dial. It is the favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 17 minutes to the top of the hour. Exactly at 12 o'clock, I'll be opening the lines for you to add your voice to the discussions. But let's look at other parts of the world and look at some of the stories making the rounds there as well. So straight on, moving on to Ghana, my happy home. Yesterday, I was having a meeting and then... my siblings, one of them was saying that back in the day when we go to school, they teach us to sing Ghana, my happy home, my happy home. Those of you who come from here from Ghana, you remember that song in our youth. And then he said, if you get it, one of my siblings was saying that if you now go to school and you teach somebody, you tell somebody that you are teaching their child how to sing Ghana, my happy, I bet they are going to slap you in the face. Why? Because Ghana is nothing to talk home about. But hey, some people are optimistic about what is going on. Well. Now, the first story that I want to talk about is the Ejapa deal. Interrogation. Published revised Ejapa deal for interrogation. That is what Dr. Mantiao is saying to Ofori Atta, the is it the chancellor? No, the Minister for Finance and Economic Planning. Now, policy analyst Dr. Steve Mantiao has requested the government to publish details of the revised Ejapa deal. He said this will enable stakeholders confirm whether earlier concerns raised about the agreement has been amended. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, in a press briefing on Thursday, reiterated the government's intention to resubmit the Ejapa Minerals Royalties Agreement before Parliament. Now, speaking on Thursday, Dr. Steve Mantiao noted that it is essential for government to allow for the revised financial agreement to be critiqued to ensure the country benefits from the deal. Now, we had expected that the finance minister, given that he made public that the transaction document has been revised, it would have been good if they were acting in good faith to disclose the revised document for us to be able to interrogate it and assure ourselves that the concerns we had about the transaction had been adequately taken care of. Now, some of us have been trying to have access to the supposed revised document without success, he complaint. However, he said, so I will take the opportunity of this medium to request that the finance minister publicly disclose the revised Ejapa transaction document so that we can all discuss it from a very informed position and see how together we can improve it for the benefit of this country, he said. Dr. Mantiao said government decision to leverage the country's mineral revenues to finance development is not a bad idea. However, the structure of the Ejapa deal makes it a terrible transaction deal for the country. He stressed that if the government intends to go ahead with a deal, especially in the same structure it was rejected, the campaign against the deal will not stop. Ejapa is a bad thing because of the way it is structured. But the notion that you want to leverage on your future mineral revenues for financial development today is not a bad idea. But the way this particular agreement was structured is a bad one. It makes a terrible transaction. Now, we will wish that they abandon it, especially if they had not adequately taken care of the concerns we have raised. But if they decide to go ahead, then, of course, we have no option to also continue with our campaign, and we will see how it all ends, he added. It will be recalled that President Akufo-Addo, delivering the State of the Nation address last year, said government will come back to engage Parliament on the steps it intends to take on the future of the Ejapa transaction. He hinted that the controversial deal that failed to see the light of day in the 7th Parliament will be resurrected on the 8th or in the 8th Parliament, the Ejapa deal. On August 14, 2020, Parliament approved the Ejapa Mineral Royalties Investment Agreement and 4 related documents to allow for the monetization of Ghana's future gold royalties. Another agreement, Ejapa Mineral Royalties Limited, has been incorporated in Jersey near the UK to receive and manage royalties from 16 gold mining leases over the next 15 years. However, some 22 civil society organizations called for a suspension of the deal, insisting it was not in the interest of Ghana. The loopholes of the deal were subsequently amplified by the former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu in a 64-page corruption risk analysis report. Now, with that, government subsequently suspended the deal. But now that they're saying that there have been some adjustment here and there or revisal of the agreement here and there, what have they? Would they put it in the public domain for stakeholders to actually scrutinize it to make sure that the country is going to benefit fully from that deal? What do you think? I want to know your take on that. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Still in Ghana, as I said, my brother said, you can't teach anybody Ghana my happy home is not a happy home. Okay, now let's move on to one other story that is making the round. You know, interestingly, okay, let me bring you one other story before I bring you this one. Someone might call it a bit trivial there. Utility tariffs don't pass inefficiencies of ECG, GWCL to consumers, Mantiao to PURC. But are we going to see anything different on that front? Because I can tell you assuredly that all the increment and everything that they have to do, they've done it. It's just a matter of this just rolling it out, billing people, and whether you can afford it or not. Because when they said we have to reduce the taxes on fuel, government said no, we cannot remove that. But what do you think? I've got with me Mr. Frank Davis, who has also joined me in the studio this morning. And let me say, Frank, good morning to you.
Morning to our listeners. It's almost afternoon, but morning. Those in Nigeria, is it morning?
No, we are in the same. We are in the same level with them now.
Putin's in morning, yeah.
Yes, well, Putin is in afternoon.
It's in the afternoon.
Yes, he's getting ready to go to bed.
To go to war. More bullets.
How are you?
I'm good.
Great. There was one story that I picked up. I don't know whether you heard it, but it's a very, very sad one pertaining to Nigeria, where a level 200 students have been stoned to death because of what? They said she's made a blasphemy statement about the prophet and was stoned to death in Sokoto yesterday. We've not had the president coming to condemn it. We had the PDP former leader, what is his name? Atiko. Yes, Atiko posting a comment condemning it on his Facebook page, and then after some time just pulled it down. And the question is it because he's scared that can work against him when it comes to his electoral fortunes or not? But you look at this where we're talking about the whole country, where the people are talking about unity. Therefore, such things should be something that we don't look at all, but we're seeing it still going on. People rampaging, killing people.
Actually, that is where I would normally insist that we are conflicted and we are actually pressed from both sides. But this is complete madness, and it also disturbs our development, that we not develop because some of this we have become religious fanatics, and this is not the first time. This lady might have been stoned to death, but I remember just a month ago Kofi Ali and I were discussing something looking at religion and how Islam I think it was another something lashes. Someone was lashed in northern part of Nigeria. They said blasphemy, and we're even discussing to a point where we asked the question whether there was an image of Muhammad and other things that people have to be. But actually, if Nigeria claims to be a republic, then we expect the constitution to be the rule that governs people. We cannot have religious and religion taking over. I mean, one of these days, I think we might have to speak to my father. He is a devout Muslim, and we also have to for them to educate us to find out where in Quran does he says that, and if Quran even talks about being peace loving, being forgiving, how do they reconcile the good nature of Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, and the evil nature of killing someone? Because if you mention Muhammad, peace be unto him, peace be unto him. So if he came to show the way to be peaceful, if he preaches peace, why is peace in murdering? Because this is murder. You see, but actually the sad one about it, by now we should see the security arresting the chief imam who actually supervise, adjudicate, and actually pass judgment. The whole, if it is what do you call it? Someone will say the Sahindrin court, the madness court that got to a point to kill someone. All of them become murder in Nigeria's constitution is a criminal offense, and this girl has been murdered.
You know, interestingly, this lady was in the university. Okay, so I don't know whether the statement that she made, that blasphemy, alleged blasphemy, was in campus or on the campus, and then the students, these male students, decided, why are you saying that? Blah blah blah. Started throwing stones.
All of them should be arrested by now. The securities should storm the university, arrest each and everyone. Each and every one of them. They should arrest each and everyone, spend life in prison. Once we begin to do that, people will then begin to think. You cannot be depriving someone their right to life just because you think they've spoken against a god or a prophet when you yourself have not met. And if Prophet Muhammad were alive today, I don't think he would have stoned that woman to death. She would have stoned that woman. But you have not taken a place and power that did not were not given to you. Where's the peaceful nature of Muhammad that you preach? So for me, it's about the security, the state agencies. The constitution says what? Murdering someone is a criminal offense. I don't know why the police have still not arrested them. They should go arrest each and everyone and jail them.
Well, the Catholic bishops or whatever in the northern part of Nigeria have come out to condemn it and have called on the IGP to, personally see to it that they bring those people to justice ASAP. We hope that they do that to restore peace, because it is not on. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it. But again, when I was speaking, I was saying that people who, you might have your faith and somebody has their faith, but don't go flaunt your faith on somebody in somebody's face. Don't do that. We need to know when to speak and when to shush.
Okay. And besides, should that happen, I mean, my appeal to Muslims must know that they cannot take the laws into their own hands. If you think someone has blasphemed or whatever, take the person to court. Sue the person. Sue the person that you've said something against the person, because you practicing religious freedom. Okay, if I also decide, okay, you know what, what do you call plantain is the one I'm coming to worship, and plantain says that they do not want anybody to mention the name of Muhammad, and in the people who believe in plantedom, they believe in plantediocracy, that's why we I am there with gun, and anyone who say Muhammad, pam, how will you feel? Before when you mention Muhammad, I said that's an insult against plantain. Will kill you. Would they be able to sustain? Would they be able to? So actually, in my view, the authority, the state security must step in. Nigerians should be shown that the constitution that we all, whether rightly or wrongly, we might reject it, we might want to restructure it, but that is the document that we are governed by today. Right? That is, and in that document, nothing in that document teaches this girl that look, the comments you have made is death warrant by tax. That tax can stone you to death, because that is the Bible. That is the Quran governing the country. So at the end of the day, the police must not even allow people to be talking about it. But now when we're making reference, we should be referring to the police. 10 have been arrested, 20 have been arrested. That is what we need from the police.
Well, we hope to say that hopefully by next over the weekend, maybe some arrests, and then by Monday, Yomi will bring us updates on that front. But well, listeners, Mr. Frank Davis for you. It is Starr Radio UK. Let me announce the lines open because we've got another 32 minutes before we cross over to Kent, where our money man is. Yes, it is 0208 133 2257 or 58 0208 133 2257 or 58. If you are in the US, Canada, the Caribbean area, it's 001 718 303 2737 001 718 303 2737. And if you want to text or WhatsApp at 075 3966 1744 075 3966 1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. info@starradiouk.com. All right then. Now, interestingly, I did touch on one story before
the Ghana one, the water one.
No, before that, the
Japa is not going to work. You see, if you look at what the government is doing, they are using criminal bullying tactics to try and achieve certain goals. They want to drive home monies that will continue to pay for years to be what they will continue. They want to decide how the future of Ghana is run, the finance and other. Not now. They want their families to be in charge.
Okay.
It is an attempt to actually privatize what belongs to everyone. Now, I've always said, and I keep on maintaining it. Yesterday that Ken Oforiatta was addressing the media, and there was a question about Ejapa. He made mention of it. Then there was another question about collateralization of e-levy. I've always maintained it's stolen money that they want to recycle into the system. So taxpayers' money that has been, stolen, they now want to do collateralization, and they will put that money back into the government coffers, so that when you pay, will be owing them, you keep on paying. And that's what most African leaders do, because I know from evidence I have from Congo, where a port was given to the Chinese by the same politicians, and then they hide what they call the Chinese to pretend as if they are bringing a fund. And most African politicians do that. In Ghana, it is being done. You see, Archie, in my view, we must rise up with every last drop of our blood to fight this Ajapadi. But you see, the people I'm even scared of are the NDC parliamentarians.
Why are you scared of them?
Yeah. Would they not accept bribe to pass it? Because they have the numbers to be able to frustrate it.
Do they have it now? Because the other MP, the Boga MP, is out.
So, but they still have the numbers to be able to frustrate it. The Speaker of Parliament has the power to defer that bill.
Okay.
So if they think of interest of the people of Ghana, that bill can be put on the bench banner. Do not forget, it was frustrated when NPP even had a
majority. Yeah.
Now, and there are people in NPP who do not like that bill. So, in my view, Ghanaians should rise up. Akufo-Addo now doesn't care, because at the end of the day, he's not going to contest again.
Yeah, he is.
All he cares now is how do I create intergenerational wealth for my children and children. And that's what they are thinking about. We are being told the same justification that they use for e-levy. Pay and you can hold out responsible or accountable. Is that the same thing they are talking about for electricity?
Yeah.
The water bill.
Yeah.
Do you know why we need more money for water?
Why?
Archie, the extent to which Galamsey had destroyed the water bodies. You now need more resources to be able to cleanse the water for it to be, before you can give it management. So poor people who did not benefit from the Galamsey will now have to pay more for the purification of that. We are told, we are told that even the killing of Captain Mahama, that Gadio Chudakwe and others are all involved.
You don't.
Oh no, yes, and this is coming from an MPP man. There's a story there like that. Yes, that Akufo-Addo himself knows exactly what is happening. You recall the Joy FM story that about Galamsey people? And where soldiers went and stormed They were commanded by people from
one of Manasseh's did that when he's dating.
Not even the Manasseh one. There was another story that Joy FM went with this Operation Vanguard or people.
Oh, okay.
Went to the Chinese and other, and within a few minutes, a huge number of soldiers came there. Even became a fight between one side of this, the soldier and one at the other side of this thing. The Jubilee House was involved. Right? Jubilee House was involved. So they have championed Galamsey as a government. Okay? They have championed Galamsey as listen. Rivan Cobra, when Akufo-Addo went to South Africa to speak to the world, he lied about Ankobra being now restored. Within hours, Solomon Usu was about Ankobra and did a video, show the world that this is a lie.
What he saying is being restored.
This is a lie. Now we, the consumers, have to cough up more money to try and cleanse water when certain individuals have profited immensely. And NDC members, some NDC members are also involved in the Galamsey. The political class. Actually, it gets to a point where if you look at our stories in Africa, it hurts. But these are Japade who must be everything to frustrate you.
Now, how can we, citizens,
we need to fight over here. Our edge, people over here should start petitioning British Parliament. We should launch a petition.
Oh, okay. Because
petition British Parliament. They should never allow a Japan in its current format, where it is registered to directors that we do not know, right, to be listed on London Stock Exchange. It should never. Transparency International must be involved. All these what they call it, anti-corruption, even the crime agency of the UK must be involved. But you see, to some extent, they also profit. So to some of those things, they don't care. When it is drug money, bad money, they don't care. But the only way we're going to succeed, if we keep it as a secret, if we keep quiet about it, we need to speak about it, we need to talk about it, we need to petition from the Speaker of Parliament to Buckingham Palace to the Commonwealth Secretariat to the Labour Party leader to Conservative Party. We need to petition every single individual that we can. They want to listen to London Stock Exchange. We need to deploy our arsenal by petitioning publicly articles. That's the only way we will to succeed.
So if they happen to publish there's a reviewed one and people look at it and think, okay, this time we think that it's good. Do you think now we can allow
review
it to,
what are they reviewing?
They said there were some clauses or some things in there that
stakeholders were saying they didn't want that. Who are the stakeholders? The stakeholder consultation that they went on an e-levy, overwhelmingly about 80% said they didn't want it. Right? Who are the stakeholders in the gold business? Otunfo. Is it the landowner? Right? He represents all Ghanaians, right?
No. Is it the one representing all the Ghanaians?
So who are the stakeholders? Parliament? Bribed parliament? That we know they can be bribed, or the judiciary that has been sold to the highest bidder? Who are the stakeholders? Actually, the very principle that you can let me ask you a question. Do you think the British government will go and register a company that the intention is to profit UK will go and register it in
offshore
where the British taxpayer, the British legal system cannot have
jurisdiction over it?
Do you think it will ever happen?
No way. They can't do that.
So who are the stakeholders over here? And then we don't even know the directors.
But is it because they want to float it on the British Stock Exchange?
It is not because they want to. No. Is that the only company that is listed? Don't we have Anglo Good?
Yeah.
Don't you have other companies registered over here?
Yeah.
Right? Why do you register in a tax haven? In any case, anyway. Why can't we have the Mineral Income Commission that has been established in Ghana? Why can't we have them if there's a need to register? Why don't you have them to have a subsidiary over here to manage it? When Nkrumah and other things were opening offices for timber, cocoa, if you go to Central London now, we have cocoa board offices, don't we? We still do have timber. Those offices, I think they should be closed because timber, we don't export timber anymore anyway. But there's a huge office, handing area, houses and other belonging to. Archie, why didn't we go to Virgin Islands? Or didn't they exist at those times? Or would have gone to North Korea to register it? Right?
Yeah.
Why can't we register it over here if you think you need a subsidiary or you need an operational office over here? Besides, why are they keeping the director secret? Or is Mohammed and Jesus that they've teamed together to be directors?
If you say anything, you will blaspheme, so then they are covered.
Auntie, it's dubious. It's thievery. It's theft. It is thievery. And all they want to do, again, the money they want to give is stolen money, taxpayers' money, that they want to recycle back. So that continuously, whatever is happening goes to their family. Actually, this is a war. It's a war between Akufo-Addo, the people around him, and the citizens of Ghana. And we must stand up for it. Tomorrow, your son, your daughter, your grandchildren, one of them are sent to the throne. And before they will realize, there's nothing left there. Over there. As we speak now, Get Fund has been collateralized. I fear for any government that is going to go into power.
They wouldn't have money to
because
do
there's
anything.
Nothing that is left. Because every source of revenue has been collateralized.
Interesting.
Every source of revenue has been collateralized. That's exactly the situation we find ourselves in. They keep on telling us, I watch tomatoes. 2 balls of tomatoes. 5 cedis in Ghana today.
Jesus.
Fanti Kenke, 3 cedis. A tin of milk.
How big is it?
Oh, actually, I'll show you the video. A tin of milk. Guess how much? 7 cedis, 50 pesos.
Wow.
That is what they sold for. They keep on telling us, we're doing this to better our lives. We're doing this to better our lives. We're doing this to better our lives. Actually, I have no problem bettering people's life. You see the water cocoa board, what do you call it? This water sector, I don't have problem people paying even 200%. But there are conditions that should be attached. 1, government must stop appointing the chief executive of that. We must give the company, the water board, the water company back to the public. Public must buy shares in it.
Okay.
The board of directors must not be appointed by
government.
If that can be achieved, I don't even mind if they increase it to 200%.
Yeah, because you know that when you make profit, you all have a stake.
We cannot have, what do you call it? People be appointed who are there to create avenue to loot money for the party and the appointing authority, and you are telling us that we should continually pay to them. Who sets the salary of the chief executive? The board members, when they sit on the allowances, who determine those allowances? What is the impact that they've had on the sector? The chief executive that was so employed, can we prove that he has been able to do something? I went home, my meter had cables that were actually complaint. No one has even been there. I called several times.
Just come and tidy up the
cable. The other time I heard they sent some people over there to go and check whether with that illegal tapping. I said they were lucky I'm not around. I would have just driven them out of the house because we report a health and safety issue to them. They failed to come. I get me. So if you see them telling us we should appoint, we should pay more, and we should hold you responsible, the chief executives are accountable to the president who appoints him. So why should we pay? They should be able to tell us that within this, what we've done with our money, how much does it take? 100-something thousand a month? For what? Polluting our waters? Actually,
it's sad. It's sad. My brother yesterday, I was having a meeting and he was saying, before we started, he was saying, one of them was singing the song. He said, Ghana, my happy home, my happy home. Then the other one said, if you go to any school now and take somebody's daughter or son, say you are teaching them Ghana, I think the parents will come and slap you in the face. I said, why? He said, what is happy about this country? Nothing. He said nothing. Absolutely everything is like worrying. You want to increase or whatever by 130%. Now how are the people going to get the money to do that? So why wouldn't they try to find ways and means in their offices to also enrich themselves or corrupt themselves or whatever thing that is going on? It's sad.
It's a difficult situation. I had a conversation with someone today and I asked, how much do you get paid? He said 500 Ghana. How much do you pay for transport? He said that's monthly. How much do you pay for transport? He said 730 a day. That I work it at 22 days. You paying almost about 165 on transport. I said okay, fine. So what you are left to give and take, you left with 335. How much is your rent? 100, 200 a month. So actually, I'm telling you a practical. Someone I had a conversation with today. So 199 a month for rent. The person have from the 500 they paying the person is, what do you call it? 240 minus 195. So what is left? 340 minus 195. So what you have left over there now is 145. No water.
It's not eating.
Feeding,
it's not bought clothing.
It's not bought to hospital. Nothing. That is what the person is surviving by.
Jesus.
Actually, 135 a month. Olunka of rice. How much is it now? So that person, how do you expect that person to survive? How do you expect that? When they say, oh, life is difficult everywhere, there are cushions. Actually, in this country, there are food banks people will go to.
And then, at least.
How many shops will you go to in Ghana to ask for food and they will give you? Even if you are hungry and they see you begging for food, they will think you are a drunkard. They will think you are a mad person. They will throw water at you. It's only a few who have that sympathy and look at humanity in the person and say, okay, this person was not born to be like this, and therefore the little that I have, let me give them. Our leaders do not think of us. I know Kofi Ali will say, where do we expect to get money? We are saying the little that we have, let's ensure that it is managed and managed properly. Look, as we speak now, we have a chief director of Keita Port, where there's no port. Where there's no pot. And you tell me the appointing authority doesn't know this? The appointing authority, if it is not just to share money, doesn't know this?
Wow. Well, I've got Kofi. Let me just quickly, we just because we got a few moments before we cross. So a quick one from Kofi. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah.
And how's my brother?
Kofi, I'm doing very, very well.
You are fine.
Yes.
Very fine.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone is fine.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I heard Kofi Ali. That will say the little we have, we should. How do I say? We don't have money.
No, where do you expect to generate money from? That has been your argument. Where do you expect to generate money from?
I think that question makes sense.
It does.
You see, I'm coming. My brother will believe, and I can see what is looking at that. We should share the little we have properly. Fine. Do we even know how much we have? Assuming we do. People, we have all agreed we will need police, members of parliament, we will need this, we need that, we need that. We need so many things. There will be offices, we'll buy them cars. If we didn't agree on that, let us go back to the drawing board. We've agreed to do all these things. Fine. It means we need to know how much we also have, so that those who are leaving their houses, their family to go to, at least they will be paid. Soldiers are there. We're going to pay them. They say they want to this, they want that, they want. We give them. We have doctors. We are paying all of them. So have we ever sat down to ask ourselves, how much have we? I think what we should be talking about is, what is the productivity of the people we are paying? When we start talking about productivity of the people we are paying, then we start asking, evaluating the feedback. That is, the output of the teacher. What value are we getting for the money we pay the teacher? What value are we paying for the money we pay the DVLA? If our money is of value, then why are we having this problem, that problem, accident here, DVLA there? Everywhere you go, the children are coming out of school, they are not productive, they are all over the place. Then the parliament, how much do we pay them? And what value are we getting? You see, that reconnecting, making proper connection, and coming out with simple common sense that, look, we need to produce to feed ourselves. If we cannot produce, if we don't produce, we can't feed. Then we now understand that a madman on the street, a poor man on the street, a child whose parents don't have, all these things, they are all the responsibility not of themselves alone, but of the state. And the state will need resources in terms of money. We sit down there, we are talking about London cocoa market, this market. Can't we think that cocoa is used for making chocolate? Why don't we start talking about the machine to make the chocolate? For how long are we going to be buying that machine? What about electricity? So you see, the way we are behaving, we do think like the way the colonialists want us to think. We can't kind of give. So if they close down the timber because we don't supply timber, because there's no, all the years we are supplying timber, what did we get for it? Gold, right now, you have even our children in the pit. They are looking for gold. If all these years, nobody knows where the gold goes. And even the time we sit down and ask ourselves questions. And then what is even more painful, very, very painful, we then have government that is putting tax, levy, on those who don't have. And we don't have common sense to understand that. They are telling us indirectly that there's no money. No money. And I heard Frank saying that they have actually used everything as collateral. Everything. Even the human beings in Ghana be used as collateral. So we are just working to pay debt. Is that not time we sit down and ask ourselves, where the hell did we all go wrong? Rather than thinking when we have mob action and everybody comes and somebody kills somebody, and then we have another vigilante and they take over and they shoot into the sky and everybody run into the bush and we all come back, and Is that how to solve problems? I think something is wrong, honestly. Until we are able to understand, look, our problem is not a joke. Because we have one president that was going to take some dead body called a private jet and riding around, and all of us feel is the ghost of ghosts flying in the sky. And we envy him so much. And all our problem now become private jet. The president is in private jet. And they're only keeping us busy. The kaya, you go to Ghana right now, you see people carrying maize, you know, the bag of maize in that Nima market, Newtown market, Agbogoshi, and they are in the traffic, and you can see the young man is carrying a weight heavier than him. What are we trying to prove? Don't we see it?
Okay.
What is wrong with us?
Okay, that's a question that the $1 million question. What is wrong with us?
Also, our problem is more than the way we discuss it.
Okay.
And the way we discuss it exposes the way we think about it.
Okay. Kofi, let me say thank you very much for that wonderful input this afternoon once again. All right then. Listeners, it is Kofi Ali for you there. Now let's move on to some other stories that is making the rounds there. Now, interestingly, on the world front, because we got about only 8 minutes to go. Now, yesterday or the day before yesterday, we had the Prime Minister going to Finland and Sweden, and then so we've seen some moves that have gone on. Now, some people are of the view that Europe seem to be sleepwalking into some serious war. Now we see that Russia is a bit stretched because they're trying to fight on various fronts in Ukraine, and therefore making it quite clumsy for them. But with now Finland having the backing of the UK and Sweden as well, so how do you see this whole thing that is going on?
In my view, is there are people, the makers of the war, who have actually planned this war before it started. All this NATO agenda and other things is to dominate, is to get people who are aligned to you, to influence them, to influence their businesses, and to influence the consumption pattern over there. It's all about resources, it's not about control. It's all about a new wave of what do you call it, a world order that will say that, okay, the fulfillment of what they wanted to create, that the West is this and everybody must go to. Actually, it's a world war that they're staring at. That is what is happening. If people think that they're going to continue to threaten Russia and Russia is going to sit, Russia will also be working. They're also not sleeping. At the end of the day, we in the West get fed with what they want us to hear. They give us videos. If, for instance, 10 tanks of Ukrainian tanks are destroyed, 1 tank of Russian is destroyed, we are fed that, Russia is suffering this. Actually, I do not think anyone who goes to war, especially the way Russia and Donbass area and those they are brothers and sisters. They fought together in the Second World War.
Yeah,
I call it their brothers. In my view, I do not think that someone want to just destroy this thing. At the end of the day, I think they have enough arsenal to be able to do that. I mean, they have enough arsenal to be able to do that. I mean, if they use the thermal energy this thing, can they mop up some? But they're not using some of those weapons. And for us to think that, Russia is down, this one-time opportunity to be able to destroy Russia, and it's not going to work, because at the end of the day, China is also watching. At the end of the day, we're popping our nose into what is happening in China and Taiwan. The China Sea, we're pumping our nose over there. Here we have another situation in Solomon Island, where we're pumping our nose over there. But see, history tells us that in Syria we lost. In the long run, we lost. History has also repeated itself that in Mali we lost as the West when it came to Russia operating. History also told us that in Ethiopia, Eritrea and those areas, we've lost all of those areas before. The longer it goes on, probably this one they think is Europe, and therefore we're going to win. Actually, in my view, I think the West is escalating the problem. They could have diffused this situation long ago. I asked myself, what is the interest of expanding NATO to the borders of, what do you call it, to the borders of Russia. What do we want to get? What we want to get? I don't get it. They will tell you security, but in all this, we should know that if for each bullet that is fired in Ukraine, someone is getting job.
Oh, of course. It's somebody's a bank account is going up.
Someone's bank account is going up. They told us they didn't have money, but they were able to promise over 1 billion,
1.3 billion
extra arms. They told us they didn't have money, right? And therefore, our gas bills, our electricity bills should go up. But when it came to war, they were able to cough the money. So you ask yourself, who is driving the agenda and why are they driving the agenda? The big brothers over there know what they are doing. And for us, Archie, we just tools in an experimental process. We are in a science lab.
A ping pong ball on the table.
This one, you are not being hit to feel it. You are being manipulated gradually. Your chemical composition, your thinking is being played with how you are fed, the news and information you are giving and everything. That's how we've been played. We've been played.
Before we run up, I mean, so do you think there is a chance of going back? I mean, you look at Putin, and this morning he has made a statement to the German Chancellor because they were trying to see the peace talk once again, and the Ukrainian foreign minister is in Germany. By the information that came through, Putin was saying to the German Chancellor that it is the Ukrainians who are blocking the talks. But the thing is, if you want me to, come and talk, you stop what you are doing. Because it's not like we have Ukraine who has bombed any place in Russia, though we had a few, something that happened at one of the Russian borders, but we've not had anything of the sort. So it's more of you being the aggressor. So if you want us to talk, cease and let's talk.
Actually, the contents of being Russia being aggressor is a bit problematic, because at the end of the day, NATO has been the aggressor.
NATO will tell you we've not bombed nothing. We've not bombed Russia.
Okay, if they've not bombed anything, why? Look at what is happening in Solomon Island. China went and signed an agreement, and what are they doing? They are running up and down, trying to question and trying to say that cannot happen. Why?
They don't want Chinese to stretch the things there.
When it nearly happened in Cuba, they threatened to sink the island. That's why they are very well. They will sink the Cuba island. That's what they were going to do. They will sink it. And you think Russia, because they are not called USA, you are not called United Kingdom, they should sit down for you to come and put all arsenals by their border where you can invade and take over them?
But nobody was thinking that this kind
if you're not going to attack them, why are you expanding? What is the strategic interest? No, I don't want to feed you. But we all decided we are fasting.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I have a big pot cooking.
After the fasting, we will all eat.
No, I mean, it doesn't make sense. We have decided we're not eating for the next foreseeable years.
Yeah.
You keep on buying the silvers. I was asking, why these beautiful spoons when we are not going to eat? You bring in cooking oil. I said, why are you second? The next thing I had was turkey on your table. Bring in a water.
For the future. For the future, not today.
So if you get to a point, before I will say, Jack, you have finished your food and you are ready to force feed me. This is exactly what. Because you go there now, they finish all this, and then they're going to say, okay, this is what we're proposing.
Yeah.
Accept it or we attack.
Yeah.
And history also tells us that the West has not listened before they attack people. They demonstrated in Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, what they call Syria, that they can just go and attack at will when they want. As we speak today, Mauritius, what is happening there? An international court
has ruled that
legitimate island belonging to the Mauritian people should be returned back to the people. UK says what? It is their security strategic interest. Is there a Caucasian there?
Maybe they are. We're going to go in soon, but let's go quickly to Felix in Aberdeen. Felix, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you guys?
Yeah, doing very well. And you?
I think I'm okay.
Great. Okay, let's fire on, sir.
Right, okay. 2 quick points. I know your time is hard pressed. First, what is the problem with this government? I mean, if you think you want to raise more resources from your gold resources, why don't they increase their shareholding stake? Ask all these gold companies, international companies that are running that show in Ghana, tell them that we want to renegotiate your contract. It happens all over the world.
Yeah.
Right, the oil companies. I mean, why don't we raise our stake? Many countries have done that. Before Gaddafi came into power, the oil resources of Libya was nowhere near what Gaddafi ended up getting from the oil companies. He asked them to come for renegotiation. It was the same thing Hugo Chavez did. And in Venezuela, it doesn't matter how much it costs you to do your oil exploration and start drilling. Whatever it is, the base starting point for negotiation is that the government has 51%.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how big the well is. It doesn't matter how much it costs you to do the exploration. It doesn't matter how much it costs you to do the drilling. It doesn't matter how it costs you to put in infrastructure. The base point is that the government starts from 51% ownership of the oil resources from that well. And then you can negotiate a little bit more for the government, or you can negotiate a little bit less for yourself out of that 49% that is on the table to be discussed. Nothing stops the Ghana government from going to all these gold mining companies saying to them that the base starting point is now going to be 50%. If you want to continue investing in the country, fine. If you don't like it, feel free to pack your things and leave when your lease expires.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are on the lease agreement, and the lease they renew it all the time. We haven't given any gold mining company or oil mining company a 100-year lease, to the best of my knowledge. So they have to accept that, look, we want a little bit more from our oil resources. If they have good welfare systems in their country where children can stay at home with their mothers for about a year after childbirth, there's nothing wrong with also us providing that sort of facility for our mothers, our daughters, our sisters and nieces and all the rest of them back in Ghana. And we need money for these things. The way they are able to reduce class sizes in their countries in some cases to about 20 pupils per teacher, there's nothing wrong with us also aspiring to get somewhere close to that, and we need resources for that. So go to Tilo and say to them that, look, you are going to renegotiate the contract. You want about at least 50% out of the oil resources. If they don't like it, feel free. You can move on, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because that is going to give you more money than what they are talking about is just an opportunity to loot the resources of the country into an offshore tax haven. I mean, if this is a genuine transaction, why can't all these transactions be done openly on the Ghana Stock Exchange?
Yeah.
And why can't the Ministry of Finance or the Precious Minerals Marketing Corporation or the Minerals Commission itself handle this? That's my first point.
Okay.
Sorry, the point that Frank was just making just before you completed, it just escaped me.
Russia
on the Russian. I mean, the fact that the West
aggressor.
I mean, when we've got to saying that Russia is the aggressor, and the fact that we have Finland and what do you call them, Denmark, is it Denmark? Finland, one of the countries who have also now decided to get a military.
No. It was a question about the Chagossians, the Mauritius. The U.S. base in Diego Garcia, which is the Chagos Island, which is part of Mauritius, and the Mauritians have actually won the case for that island to be returned to them. Look, this is an issue that has been going on. You know the strange thing about this story? For once, you have immigrants who want to go home, and the British government is refusing to allow them to go home. Yes, because the Chagossians were literally cleared off the island for the island to be given to the U.S. as a military base, and they were brought into the UK. A lot of them look like us, so most of them are not. People just overlook them. They may think, oh, they are Ghanaians, Nigerians, some other, nationalities on us. But for many years, they've been campaigning to go back to their own country. And for once, the British government is stopping immigrants from going back to their own country.
Interesting.
I mean, this is it's all breathtaking. But this is the narrative you hear where we don't want all this, excuse my language, bloody blah 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 in our country. In this case, they're saying, okay, fine, we're giving us social welfare and all the rest of it, but we don't want it. We just want to go back to our own island. Please give us the chance to go back to our own island. The sad thing is that somewhere in the last 5 years, the lease agreement that was given to the United States military expired. So by default, they had to pack their things and leave. Once again, the Chagosians were refused the opportunity to return to their island. And the generation that were moved off the island, a lot of them are, shall we say, getting to the final stages of their lives. You know, so most of them are old now. Most of them are retired. Obviously, some of them have had children here. So the children have been born in, shall we say, exile, sort of. But the stories have been passed on over to them, so they are still fighting the case. The sad thing, like I said, the British government is refusing, shall we say, bloody immigrants who want to go back to their own country. They are being stopped from going back to their own country. Sad story. But I know your time is out. Have a good weekend.
And you, sir. Thank you very, very much. Wow. Well, I tell you all the time, if you listen to this program, you are informed. I mean, we always have people come along who have got more information, and we make sure that you get everything. But Frank, well, that's what's happening. Before we go
we go on the point Felix was ending on, the question I would then ask is, let's ask each and every one, and let's ask ourselves why.
They have their own
material
motive, their interest.
So we must also be asking ourselves why. Why are we begging to return home and they are saying no? We can't allow you to go back.
They have something that they are enjoying. They don't want you to come and enjoy it.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Frank. Thank you very, very much. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It's gone 12:38, so we're crossing straight to our money man in Kent. And let me just cross over straight to him. Yes, money man who has joined us, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, joining us all the way from Kent. Let me say, Mr. Tabiri, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Archie. Pleasure to come your way again this week.
Yes, pleasure is all mine. Hope you are doing very well, sir.
Yes, I'm good, by God's grace.
Good. We thank God for that. Well, interestingly, was it this week? People have been angry, very, very angry. People are thinking that, well, upon all the challenges that the economy is going through, the energy prices and everything, the government has gone on with the increment of national insurance. And so I know we're going to be talking about all those bits, but what is your take on it? What is your take on that?
Yeah, so in respect of the national insurance levy, or what the Chancellor would want to call health and social care levy, I mean, this was planned before the expectation of the rises in energy and cost of living standards.
Yeah.
So, as we all expected, that the spring budget that he read last month, he was, given the situation that we found ourselves in, he was either going to postpone or cancel it. And as you rightly said, people have been, especially the backbenchers in his party, feel a bit let down because they feel that the measures that he's put in place has not alleviated the hardships that are about to happen. So we saw that he pressed on and kept the levy, and even though he gave some concessions here and there, but he's still adamant that the health and social care levy is needed to be able to prop up the NHS as we move into the next decade.
Okay. Listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. When it comes to issues pertaining to your account, I say it all the time, look no further. Mr. Tabiri is the man to see to address it for you. Today we are having a look at National Insurance Levy 2022 to 2023, tax rates and allowances. So, what are the national insurance levy. Yes, let me leave down your court, sir.
Yeah, so we are in a new tax year. We are already 3 days in. So we all know the tax year in the UK starts from the 6th of April 2022. So we are 3 days into the new tax year. And what that means is that usually there are new tax rates and allowances that affect everyone in terms of what you pay on your taxes and your national insurance contributions. So I wanted us to take some time to look at what these changes are and how they're going to impact on us.
Okay, sir.
So we have already mentioned the new health and social care levy, which is 1.25% increase on national insurance costs for everyone. Basically, this is going to affect employees, going to affect businesses, it's going to affect self-employed people. So it's important that we understand what is coming, because with effect from the 1st of April, we're going to start seeing this on our pay slips. So when you receive your pay slip, you would see a note on there with a note that the health and social care levy increase has been applied across board.
Okay.
So this, in effect, would see an increase of 1.25% on our national insurances. What does this mean? So employees previously were paying 12% on national insurance contributions on earnings up to £50,270. With the increase in the levy, we're going to see this jump up to 13.25%. And then also people who earned above £50,270, there was a tax or NI of an additional tax of NI of 2%. This is also going to go up by 1.25% to 3.25%. Then self-employed people usually pay 9% on their profits above the national insurance tax threshold. And this is also going up from 9% to 10.25%. And also where their income is over and above £50,270, you're also going to see additional rate of national insurance of 3.25%, in line with what employees also pay. So we're going to see a 1.25% across board for everyone, whether you are employed or you are self-employed.
Okay. All right. Go on, sir. Go on.
Yeah. So, and also in the spring budget, we saw the Chancellor defended his position by saying that he's made some adjustments or given some concessions to employees and self-employed people. So previously, you start to pay the 12% national insurance rate after your earnings exceeding £9,880. This threshold has now been moved to £12,570 in line with the tax threshold. So that is the point at which you start to pay any national insurance or the increased national insurance that we have for 2022-23 tax year.
Okay.
Now, what this means is that altogether for the next 12 months, anyone who earns less than 34,000 a year would see a reduction overall in their national insurance contributions based on where this the national insurance threshold has been pegged. But anyone who earns over £34,000 a year would expect that they would pay more national insurance this year than the previous year.
When you say more, by what percentage or how much more? 34,000 plus?
Yeah, so there isn't. So depending on how much your salary is above 34,000, you start to see more. I can't give you a percentage-wise increase, but the more you are above 34,000, you would see compared to last year. If you earn the same salary, you would have paid more national insurance this year.
Okay. So
also,
go on, please. Go on.
And also to add before you come in, that this threshold increase only takes effect from July this year. I believe it's been pegged at July because the announcement was made so late that it will not allow the various payroll software vendors to be able to adjust their softwares to be able to accommodate this new NI threshold. So the 3 months, April, May, and June, would give them the time to be able to adjust their systems to be able to calculate correctly the national insurance.
Okay. Now,
contribution.
I was asking the question about this threshold, that 12K plus before you start paying your tax. Now, are they also going to be paying the health and social care? That's this 1.25% increment. Are they also going to be contributing something on that front?
Yes. So yes, that's right. So which means that you don't pay any national insurance if your income is less than 12,570, and the national insurance that you'll be paying will be at the new rate of 13.25%, which includes this health and social care levy.
Okay. Thank you. Please go on, sir.
Yeah, and also the Chancellor did something to help businesses or employers in respect of these increases. So previously, employers had to pay national insurance for their staff, and they had an allowance of £4,000. So unless their national insurance bills, employer national insurance bills exceeded £4,000, employers did not pay any national insurance. With the new increase in the rates, the Chancellor has increased this allowance from £4,000 to £5,000, and this is expected to benefit overall about 670,000 employers all around the UK.
Okay. Go on, sir.
Yeah, so again, the Chancellor did not end there with the national insurance. He also extended the 1.25% levy onto dividends. So where people draw out their income from company profits as dividends, there will be some tax on there. So between any dividend payments between £37,500 up to £37,500, we pay dividends at 7.5%.
Okay.
There will be an increase from the 2022-23 tax year of 1.25%. So these dividend rates are then going to go up to 8.75%. Yes.
Okay.
And then above that, the 37,500 dividend, if you take any dividends above that rate into the higher tax bracket, where previously, share owners or owners of businesses paid dividend tax at the higher rate of 32.5%. Similarly, this is also going to go up to 33.75% across board. So really, this social care levy it touches everybody if you have any of these earnings, and because I believe the Chancellor sees this as a a social issue that everybody has to chip in.
Wow, listeners, it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 6 minutes to the top of the hour with me, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. And today we are looking at the National Insurance Levy 2022, tax rates and allowances, etc. there. So wherever you are, don't you go away. But hey, if you have any issues pertaining to your account, so everything that we are saying seems to be something that is going over your head and you're thinking, what can I do? You find yourself in a situation where you think you have to, you are panicking. Please calm down. You are at the right place. You get in touch with Mr. Dan Tabiri, GIL Accountancy Services. They will give you all the best service when it comes to your account. So don't you go away. During the latter end of the program, he's going to put his contact details there as well, and then you can also get in touch with him. But if you have any concerns pertaining to any of the discussions that we've had, or some clarity pertaining to any of the discussions, go to our podcast session. They are all there, or our social media platform, the platform that we are broadcasting on. They are all there. Just go there, re-listen to it, and you can get in touch with him, and he can throw more light on it for you. Okay, so Mr. Tabiri, let's move on. Any other stuff for us?
Yeah, so we've looked at the national insurance. I think we should also look at the tax threshold and rates. So the tax thresholds for 2021 to 2022 have not been changed. They've remained. The Chancellor has fixed these for 2022 to 2023.
Okay.
So for incomes up to £12,570 per year, there will be you won't pay any tax at all. This means that if you are on a weekly pay amount of £242 per week, you shouldn't pay any tax. You shouldn't see any tax deductions. If you're on a monthly pay schedule, this breaks down to £1,048 per month. You shouldn't pay any tax at all.
Okay.
Above this limit and up to £37,700, you start to pay tax at 20%. And then between 37,000 and 1 to 150,000, you pay tax at 40%. And then above 150%, anything above 150,000, you can see your tax rate rise to 45%.
Interesting.
So that is the tax rate. I think we can also have a look at minimum wage announced. I mean, there are hardships happening, but the Chancellor has not touched the minimum wage rates at all, simply because employers are complaining, also facing hardships, and any increase at all would also affect businesses. So for national minimum wage rates have been fixed for employees aged 23 and above at the national living wage rate of £950. And then we have employees aged between 21 and 22. The rate is 9.18%. Employees between 18 to 20 is fixed at 6.83%. And employees aged under 18, including apprentices under 19 years, you're looking at a minimum wage rate of £4.81. So new year, but it's important people check that they are being paid the correct wages for their age category.
Okay. Listeners, if you fall, you think that whatever we are saying, you're falling short of it. Yes, like I said, you have to get in touch with Mr. Tabiri, and he will bring you more on that. Mr. Tabiri, do you have any more for us there?
Yeah. So just to say that the situation in the UK and tax and politics and all that keeps changing. It's very fluid. if there are any changes happening, I promise you would hear of them first here on Star Radio. So continue to tune in, continue to dial in and listen for information so that you can position yourself properly and well financially. If you have any concerns or any issues that you would want me to help you with, I'm happy to take your call on 07961248834, 07961248834, or you can reach me via email at dan@gilaccountants.com.
Okay, dan@gilaccountants.com. And let me say, Mr. Tabiri, thank you very, very much for this wonderful submission once again.
You are most welcome, and have a good weekend.
And you. We'll catch up later, sir.
Thank you.
Right then. Well, if you listen to us this afternoon and you think that, well, whatever we discussed seemed to be, you didn't get it. You need some more clarity. Yeah, he's put the contact details there. So please get in touch with him and he will help you address it. But when it comes to any issue pertaining to your accounts, any issue, name it, GIL Accountancy Services are there to help you on that front. So get in touch with them and Mr. Dan Tabiri and the team will help you on that front. Just say Star Radio UK. That is your code there. Just say that and you get some rebate from there as well. Okay. So let me say thank you very much to each and every one of you for tuning in today to listen to us, to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, to Mr. Dan Tabiri, Kojo D. Felix, and Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin. As many of you who were listening to us, Antonio Adedeji Amayo, and all the crew back home, I say God richly bless you until I come your way on Monday with another edition of the morning show. It's been me, Archie. But remember, this afternoon, lots of music going to be coming your way. We call it More Music, Less Talk. I call it Mixed Grill. But enjoy this song from a timeless one, a cover version of Don't Worry, Be Happy by the timeless Dima Paul Negaland. Enjoy it, and when it ends and you don't hear from me, it's me, Archie. I say, have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye for now.